everyone, and welcome to GG Speedruns, the Messenger Tournament, 8-bit no out of bounds. We're still here. The tournament's it's still happening. And today we have an epic match lined up for you all. We have SortOfAlpha, a contender for the strongest German in the 67 kilogram range, and also potentially the fastest rope dart climber in all of Messenger. Up against him, we have HalflingHelper, straight A student, absolute genius with the possibly the longest rope dart I've ever seen, able to grab walls from about 2 pixels further away than every other runner. And yeah, they're going to be going at it. I mean, what more could you say? We've got the second and the third place runners of this category about to fight to the death, because this is the losers bracket. And yeah, I believe it's going to be, best 2 out of 3. And so one of them will advance on and one will be defeated, eliminated. So definitely looking forward to this match. We'll see kind of what they opt for. It has been a while since the last match. I know there was some different distractions and stuff, so I don't know how much they've managed to keep up with the game and everything. I'm sure they'll still do great. It's not like it's been that long. But I'm kind of curious if this first game, if it's going to be shaking off a little bit of rust, racing again and everything, or if, or if there will be, like, they'll just be straight up, killing it with a sick time. So I believe we did see Alpha got, I think, the second best time done in the tournament on his last match. So he kind of popped off, and Halfling's been, putting up some amazing times as well. So this is really, like, we always say it could be anyone's game, but here, like, it's really, really real. Because both these are just really well matched runners. Like, I think there's some of best are within just like maybe like 4 seconds of each other as well, and personal bests that are only about 10 seconds apart. So really, really closely matched. So definitely looking forward to this. We'll see once we get it all synced up and everything, moving into autumn. I'm kind of curious to how the turtle boosts go, because I feel like that's one of those things is if you haven't been like super actively grinding, sometimes those early turtles can be pretty rough, because turtle boosting is such like a difficult tech and specific tech that when you're not like really warmed up into it, it could be a pretty big tragedy. So we'll see. Looks like we got 0 shards from both runners. A bit of an unfortunate start there. They're most likely gonna be going to the wall. We'll see how these first turtle goes. Beautiful first turtle on both sides. Looking like they're ready to pop up. But see there, Alpha bonked the turtle. That's what I'm talking about. If you're not playing this game like every single day, you just start running into turtles. It's a hard game. Because you always have to come so dangerously close to these turtles and input all these precise timings to actually save just a few, several frames on each turtle. We did see Alpha there. He went for a gamble. He killed that extra turtle at the end of the rim. He didn't need to. He was hoping for a shard job. We call it the Fruity Waffle Shard because it was a strategy Fruity used to do. And where you just hope you get that shard, so then even though it takes a little bit of time to kill that turtle, it's better than having to jump all the way over to that wall to grab an extra shard. So it's a gamble, but it can pay off. So outside of that bonk that on the turtle from Alpha, both runners have been having a good autumn, but now, just like that, Halfling bonks into a turtle of his own. But he's 1 HP. I hate going around that turtle on 1 HP with the front boost and everything. It's so tricky, and sometimes you just get shocked at like your big toe like hits that turtle in the head before you go to Spinny Boy and you just die. So it's pretty scary. But yeah, they both bonked 1 turtle. Outside of that, really good autumns. Gonna be going into a little bit of a swimming section. We'll see. I don't believe Halfling ever goes for the belly boost, but we'll see if Alpha does. No, he didn't have a good enough cycle. So it's kind of a cool thing is to do the belly boost strat where you take a damage boost early on the spikes. You need an incredibly fast room. And you can know how fast your room is by where the saw's at once you get up there. You can use that kind of as a visual cue to know if you have a chance for it or not. And in that situation, like, it was definitely like right for both of them to not try for it, because they would end up dead, because it is a really tight cycle if you're not like in a really good spot. Ooh, actually, that's a very rare little tiny mistake there from Halfling on the Firefly room. He's from what I've seen, he's always been the best at the Firefly room. It's actually a pretty technical room for how short it is. Just a lot of really precise slash jumps to extend the ninja's hitbox out in an advantageous way to jump sooner as you ascend up. They'll be using that a lot throughout the run, as I'm sure you all have seen in the tournament already. And we're going to be seeing some nice kick boosts here, just kicking off the walls really effectively, getting some more turtle boosts, block boosts, all the boosts. So one thing I love about this game is you learn so much tech and you work so hard, and like all these boosts are saving like 10 frames or less. you're just working your butt off for every frame, and it's really awesome when it all comes together, because it ends up adding up to be a lot. Oh, but Halfling barely not having the height to get over that wall, and just like that actually put Alpha barely into the lead, just from that tiny little bonk on the corner. But Halfling maybe had he made up a tiny bit of time on that shop. They actually both had really good shops, so they are going to be getting through here just fine. We'll see what kind of leaf monster kill they go for. It looks like Alpha channeling his inner Belial, turning away from the monster, but unfortunately Halfling missing the kill. Thankfully he did react and he jumped up, so that kill he got lost him about 5 seconds typically. That's like a kill you would go for in like no upgrades or something, where you couldn't get the shurikens, so you couldn't one cycle him. That's a lot better than if he escapes and you have to wait for him to jump down, because that would lose about 14 seconds, whereas at least the way he saved it, he only lost about 5. Still a brutal way to start off the race here, though, because like at a high level especially, like you lose 5 seconds, it might legit cost you the race, and we've seen that happen in this tournament already. So we'll see how it goes. Going into Catacombs, though, obviously, like this level, the stage itself and the boss can cause huge swings of time. A couple big ones in particular is the Badonk cutscene skip and Ruxton, the boss, whether he goes high or low. So those two things can matter for quite a lot of time, roughly 8 seconds on each one. So we'll see how it plays out. They both get a beautiful butt boost, though. Make a nice cycle there. I don't think we're going to be seeing any cycle resets. It's kind of a psycho strat to go for in races. You can get a slightly better cycle by resetting this room on that little screen up, but it's kind of just psychotic and barely does any time save. So just going to be moving on there. Now, one thing I am curious about is, are they going to go for this Cutie Crusher clip? Okay, actually not. Okay. Halfling? No. Because I know Alpha, like when he was at least grinding for runs and stuff, he was going for it, and I think he was considering it in races, but it looks like right now he just decided not to. Probably a good call. It doesn't even save a full second, it's a bit less. And if you mess it up, you just die a lot of times. or sometimes, and if you die, that's pretty much the end. Like, you just lost the race on the spot. So it's a very, very high risk, low reward situation, similar to the Catacomb cycle reset I talked about earlier. Alpha got a little bit of a troll Wizrobe there. Does deal with it well. Gets a beautiful Badonk. Let's see if Halfling gets a Badonk. Gets the Badonk. Both runners getting through, not losing the 8 seconds. And yeah, staying relatively close here. Alpha only like half a room ahead of Halfling here. We do too, of course, have a battle of controller, Alpha on controller, mostly using D-pad, but he does use the analog stick. He switches grips for a couple sections for clean drops and such, and of course Halfling on keyboard. So it's cool to see different control methods used like so effectively. And yeah, getting through just fine, but here comes the big RNG point, or one of the big RNG points of the run. And yeah, we'll see. Is he gonna go high? Is he gonna go low? Are they gonna go fast, or are they gonna go slow? Let's see here. Oh, a low on Alpha side. What does Halfling get? Halfling also gets a low, so they actually are just getting the same RNG here. Low Ruxton, honestly, like, you can speed up the fight quite a bit. I think both of them got pretty similar kill. Alpha had a slightly faster low Ruxton. It's actually harder to get like the best possible low Ruxton fight compared to the high Ruxton. Because high Ruxton, like, you pretty much just do some kicks, you get over there, and you slash him, and he dies. Like, there's not a lot of optimization there. But the low Ruxton, like, there's a lot of back and forth. So while it's a slower pattern, it's actually the harder pattern to, like, do well. And normally in, like, you know, a real run or a PB pace run or whatever, you might just reset there or just be like, it is what it is, and just move on. But in a race, you know, even low Ruxton, even optimizing low Ruxton can sometimes matter. Just trying to save that extra, like, little half second or whatever. So now, of course, they are going through Bamboo. Such a good level. Gotta love Bamboo, but there is some terrifying rooms that have ended many runners in both inside and outside of this tournament. Ruined their runs, ruined their lives, even. And here's one of the rooms, the accursed tree room. Looks like Alpha's going to beautifully get over the tree. Let's see if Halfling gets over it. Both sitting very healthy as well, so even if they take a dip into the spike pit, they'll be absolutely fine. But next room is the accursed, even more accursed, the BC11. Arguably one of the hardest rooms in the entire run. And Alpha goes for the hardest strat, B2. Halfling going for it as well. Beautiful B2s on both sides. They're just, yeah, that's sick. Like, that's not every day you get to see two BC11s of that quality. That's some fast freaking rooms on both sides, just right next to each other. It's actually incredible. So, honestly, just sick bamboos from both runners. We do have Alpha just roughly 6 seconds ahead or something like that. It's not a huge lead considering they're only through 3 stages, or 4 if you count Ninja Village. But they're going to be going into Grotto. Now, the thing with Grotto is they're going to be picking up Wingsuit, which does open up some different movement options and stuff, which is pretty cool. And the level itself is, like, there's some deceivingly difficult rooms and deceivingly difficult tricks that could make a difference. I'll be pointing at some of those as we get to them. But I'm pretty sure they're going to be basically going for everything, except maybe God Drop. I don't know if they're going to go for the God Drop here in a couple rooms, so we'll see if they opt for that. But they're going to be making clever use of the physics from these air vents to get, like, really accelerated jumps. So we'll see. Alpha does tap the wingsuit, both tapping wingsuit. Halfling did catch up. I must have missed on Alpha's screen something bad happening. Or a little timer sync as well going on. But yeah, they're gonna be going into the Donkey Kong room. So this room is let's see. It's all about making the cycle. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I'm not 100% sure if Halfling will even attempt to go for that skip because of how the first turtle was. It was a bit scuffed. And you need a really good room to actually make the cycle. Alpha did get the DK skip, but yeah. Halfling unfortunately losing a couple seconds there. Not the biggest deal, but like I said, it's just those like little deceivingly difficult tricks. Especially at a race setting, like just trying to consistently make all these cycles. Speaking of which, here's another one coming up. They're going to be using the water boost the one time in the run we actually use it. To get a big boost there, and Alpha gets it. Gets the God Yeet, makes up another couple seconds. So between Donkey Kong skip and the God Yeet, he has made up about 4 seconds just to those two tricks. That is an incredibly precise trick. We were looking at God Yeet for a bit, and even the specific speed and height that you approach the door to go into the next room to actually press the jump to use the cloud step to get the God Yeet. Sometimes it's not even possible. Sometimes you just don't have the correct speed or the correct height. That there's literally doesn't seem to be a frame in there where you could time a jump press and get through. So like even there's a high amount of specificity. Oh, that's not a word. It's very specific. It's a very specific, very precise trick. So that's cool he was able to pull that off. I get that trick like 1 in 10 times. It's insane. Gonna be going into Emerald Golem though. And both of them looking like they're going to be having just a nice fight here. Yeah. Ooh, Halfling, though. Getting a little bit of splicing action going on there. You love to see it. Gotta do what you gotta do, you know? Alright. Oh! Look at that. He turns the splice on, and then he gets a sick ending. Beautiful. Nah, well done to both runners. Really good fight. Halfling, I think, having the slightly better fight there. Slightly better RNG as well. But really still solid from both sides. Now, moving on into Quillstream Marsh. It's kind of funny because probably one of the hardest rooms in Quillstream is one of the earliest ones. It is the infamous right room, which can be a pretty simple room if you just want to navigate through it, like just holding right. But if you start going for all these turtle boosts and you try to get the better cycle, it can get really hard really fast because these turtles are not in the best spots to approach. Like they're pretty annoying, some of them, to get as many boosts as you might want. And you need to get like pretty much like 6 boosts or more, like that are really well done to actually get a better cycle on this spike ball without it like trolling you. Oh, Alpha! Oh my god, respect the spike ball! Oh my goodness. Alpha did indeed respect the spike ball. If that hit him, he would have died, and that would have been the end. He did lose quite a bit of time to playing that safe, but I think it was the right call. Because way too many people just YOLO through that, and if you die to that, that's the end. That's pretty much, you just lost the race. So the fact that he just took a few seconds to play that safe and recover, I think was the right call in this case. But pretty scary still. Halfling though, right there behind him. That definitely caught him up a bit. Like, pretty much that DK skip and God Yeet, that just mitigated that, so... Yeah. Nice. Oh, no! What happened? Oh, did Halfling throw the shuriken before the slash killed the blue turtle? Maybe, because that definitely was pretty messed up. Halfling, of course, doing the backup of hitting the switch there instead of having the shuriken for it. Like because that's what we used to do with the kind of the old strat or alternate strat. Oh, Halfling getting bullied a bit though. Dang. That's so rough because Halfling made up a lot of time there on Alpha, but now Alpha pulled ahead a few more seconds because of a couple mistakes there from Halfling and really clean movement from Alpha side. Yeah. All right, Alpha though going into the Queen of Quills fight. Now what I'm really curious about, if Queen goes left. Okay, we might be seeing some new technology here on Alpha screen if she tries to go to the right now. Oh, he went for it. I respect it. So meanwhile, Halfling getting a right. Oh no! Halfling missing the right kill, but he backs up into a pretty good kill. He doesn't get whips. Both of them managed to get through it, but not quite getting what they wanted. Alpha was trying a new kill that he actually discovered just a couple weeks ago, where if you get specifically the left-right pattern, you can basically turtle boost her in the air like 4 times and chase her all the way from the left to the right hook, giving you so much damage that when you knock her off the chain, you have the potential to skip her doing her Quills attack because she's already like dead after like she's stunned or whatever, and she'll just jump straight to the middle, similar to the really fast version of the right or left kill. So really cool that he tried it. Didn't pay off. Halfling, of course, getting the right, but barely missing, knocking her off the second time. So both having a little trouble with the fight, but nothing too big of a deal. Meanwhile, they are into Crags. Both of these runners are just have insane Crags. They're going to be making use of the rope dart item they just picked up and just zooming through. Oh no, Halfling though, getting trolled there a little bit. I know exactly how that happens too with the rope dart. It's a bit silly. Oh, but look at that. See how fast Halfling's Crags is? Like 1 second he's in one room. 1 second later, he just teleports through 3 rooms. It's that easy for Halfling. That's why I said his rope dart, it's not just a straight thing. Like it bends through space and time and just grabs anywhere he wants it to grab. He can go there. Oh no! Man, Alpha's had some mistakes here as well. And just like that, like they're pretty much synced up. I do believe Alpha's still in the lead a couple seconds based off the timers, but regardless, it's incredibly close here. That's all it takes is a couple mistakes, and of course, like Halfling, known for being one of the people that actually loves speedrunning Crags, so kind of gave him a little bit of a power up there. But at the very end, Alpha did get a minor time save. They're going, though, into Kolos and Seuss. We got on both sides, Kolos first. They're both going for the Nip. Both get charged first. That's not generally what you like to see, but it really matters what this next pattern is, because this is generally very hard RNG if they start with a charge. Alpha getting the charge ball. Now, this is a 2-cyclable pattern. We'll see if he gets it. It looks like he did miss some DPS. I don't know if he's going to quite pull it off. Meanwhile, we got Halfling getting the whip into Boulder. He could finish Seuss off here, but Halfling's going to get a tag back to Kolos, which Alpha got as well. So Alpha actually lost about 4 seconds there to not doing enough damage to Kolos, but that is a very hard pattern. Like I was saying, if they start with a melee attack, so Seuss with whip or Kolos into charge, 9 times out of 10, it's incredibly hard to get what's considered the fastest possible pattern from that. It's a very complex fight, but we've mapped out the entire fight like a flow chart as far as the RNG and stuff. So it's kind of cool knowing what's possible and like what a player missed and didn't. Get your glacial pleases in chat as they go to start zooming through this level. Already a beautiful opening from both players. Alpha goes for a crazy strat here. He gets it, the one tile. That saves like 0.2 seconds. I can't believe he added that one tile in for the smallest of time saves. I still think he's like psychotic for adding that in. But he's doing it. He's zooming. Alpha, of course, with the fastest glacial gold right now. Oh, Halfling busting out the right side, though, in that room. You'd love to see it. Going to be getting some beautiful rope darts there. Beautiful Hansons. One thing you'll notice some of them are they're going to be doing, or that you might not notice, I should say, because it's such a subtle thing, is there's a lot of Hansons where they're actually trying to position their rope dart at the bottom of like a block as they're trying to like, you know, grab it and then continue on to the next room. Just to save a couple frames that you don't have to fall down as much for your ninja's head to get under the block to move forward. So I love like noticing these little details where I see them like positioning for that. So they're both simultaneously trying to get as long of a rope dart as they can, but also as low of a rope dart as they can. So it's really, really cool to see. So much work goes into to doing that. Oh no, Alpha's gonna have to do a room reset, and just like that, that's gonna catch Halfling up. Is they're in the final. Oh my god, that climb! That rope dart climb was so sick though at the end. It's actually just disgusting. It actually looks like we just plugged the task script in. Oh my god. That was still a brutal mistake from Alpha's end. But he still has a bit of a lead here over Halfling. They're going to be going, though, into the Tower of Time. And, I mean, this is... this is, like, the easiest level to die in, pretty much, when you're going for all the top strats. And they're pretty much going to have to go for everything. I don't really think we'll see them opting out of stuff unless they're watching the stream and they see the other person dies or something. So we're going to be just seeing a lot of risky stuff, going down to low HP, and trying to navigate all these like crushers and lasers and spikes and everything else. All right, good start here. Both getting the Crystal Abuse and that crystal really fast through the wall. They're going to be going in, though, to the Hail Mary room. Or going for the Hail Mary strat, I'm assuming. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Halfling does this psychotic version of Hail Mary, where when he damage boosts into the first laser, he just lets RNGesus take the wheel. He actually doesn't do a damage recovery. He just lets it boost him left or right because it's random, and then he just reacts to where it puts him. The reason he does that is if it does boost him left, it's very, very slightly faster. And if it boosts you right, it makes it a little bit harder, and you lose like only like a few frames over if you recovered. So it's a pretty interesting decision that he takes for that I don't see very many people do. They're going to be going on in here, going to be trying to go for the Kuni cycle. And then after is going to be one of the strats that's still fairly new, only a couple months old. Alpha, the one who kind of optimized the strat, he gets a health drop, gets the beautiful opening, gets both blocks damaged through the ground. Ridiculous room. I'm curious if Halfling's messed with this room at all. Oh no! Halfling did the mistake of going for my strat that's horrible and sucks. I call it my strat, but probably a bunch of people do that rope dart to that wall and then throw the shuriken. It's so brutal if you miss it. That's one reason I actually stopped going for that recently, is because there's actually like 50 billion ways where that shuriken can just get screwed over in like the dumbest ways. Like the game is kind of, there's a little scuffery going on some of that. So it can actually be really awkward to throw that shuriken in. Like that mistake happening to Halfling, I've done it before several times, and it's just like it's an unfortunate thing if you're trying to throw the shuriken like after rope darting to that wall. Like a lot of awkward stuff can happen. But we do have Alpha going for the Dos Ojos room. He actually lost a race against Belial because of dying in that room. So I'm sure he's feeling good getting through that room, moving forward. Halfling not super far behind. It does look like Alpha's likely to take game one, but there's still crystal abuse here. Yeah, he gets it clean. He even is greeting that, like, he's trying to do the crystal abuse to slash that crystal at the very top of the crystal, which can go wrong if you miss it. Like, you can end up falling in the laser or hitting the upper crystal and going backwards, which loses both things would lose a lot of time. So he's definitely just going all out here, saving those frames. And yeah, just kind of popping off. So we do have Alpha on a really good pace. Honestly, Halfling on a pretty dang good pace, too. Got to keep in mind, they had low Ruxton this run. And they're still just popping off. So you love to see it. Alpha on the final boss. Getting close to time. Getting a beautiful fight. Looks like a 3-clap fight. Really well done. Yeah, GG to Alpha, 29-18 with a low Ruxton. That is a sick time. And Halfling here going to be finishing up the Arcane Golem, on pace for a really healthy sub-30 of his own. 29-46, GG to Halfling. Solid time as well, and that gets the game one out of the way. We will, of course, this is a best 2 out of 3, so we'll get to see some more action. We'll see if Halfling's able to bring it back, take it to 1-1, or if Alpha is going to be able to pull off the 2-0.